Hi, everyone. This is Laura Tolumbus from Attuned Wellness, and I wanted to hop in here and wish everybody a happy solstice and take a moment of pause together here in this pinnacle moment where we have essentially, in the Northern Hemisphere at least, reached the darkest day of the year. And the beauty about going into the darkness is that we then move into the light. So the sun is at its lowest point, and we are then going to now move little by little into longer days and less darkness, which I know for some of you is a relief because this phase of time is overwhelming and intense, and I cannot tell you how many people are affected by the season of moving into the depth of the darkness, and how it gets dark so early, and how people are lethargic and tired, and just sort of tapped out. And I want to invite you to notice the why around that, because the reality is we are supposed to be turning inward. So the gift of the darkness is for us to take the time, to take pause, to turn inward, to literally hibernate on some level, to get cozy and warm and connected to ourselves. And very often this time of year, the opposite has happened. So seasonally, we're being beckoned into the darkness and into almost like this act of turning inward, but the world and the societal pressures and the way the churning of the year happens this time of year wants us out. It wants us engaging. It wants us, doing. And so we're sort of at odds with what's actually happening seasonally and with nature versus what's happening societally. So the invitation is really to get so good at taking time for yourself, taking pause, taking moments to reflect and to be and to stay present and to honor and acknowledge how, the world is offering itself, but also how are you offering yourself to yourself? And very often this time of year, we're not doing that at all. We're very busy sort of doing everything for other people, and we're not taking the time to turn inward. We're not taking the pause. We're not taking the moment to reflect. We're not giving ourselves access to ourselves. And I want to really concentrate, or at least take this moment to settle in and to be present and to take notice and to regenerate and restore and renew and reset, so that as we move into the light, as we move into the longer days, we are refreshed from the fact that we offered ourselves time and space. We offered ourselves the privilege of our own attention. So come sit up tall, feel the pelvis settle wherever you're sitting, whether you're on a chair, whether you're on the floor. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Let your front ribs float into your back ribs so that you're almost leaning back into yourself. And then my eyes already want to close. So just noticing how that's feeling to you. If it feels scary to close your eyes, don't. You can keep them open. There's no pressure to do this in a certain way. Just start to feel the rise and the fall of your breath, the wave of the breath. And then find that space, the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. And just allowing yourself to slip into that space. And as you settle in, can you retreat here? And the retreat is not in some far off land, but in your own presence in this moment. Taking the time to pause, taking the time to simply be conscious and aware of whatever is present for you today. From experience, I know the deeper we are willing to mine into our own darkness, the more we get ourselves. And so when we get ourselves, we unveil that light. We reveal the illumination that we hold within. And so as you pause here and breathe and take notice, our tendency is to want to avoid the darkness, to avoid seeing what's in the forest or the cave of the heart, to avoid the pain and the grief and the suffering. But in fact, when we turn towards ourselves, when we show up, when we meet ourselves there in that space, when we start to pull it apart a little bit, when we start to process some of what's sitting there, we end up creating space on the inside. And in creating that space, we gain access to our own presence. We gain access to literally having more of us, more of our presence, more of our awareness, more of our consciousness. And so, although moving into the darkness may seem daunting and overwhelming and painful and hard, it's also really worth it. You are really worth it. You are worth showing up for. So when we sit in this space, if we hold the lens of I am worth showing up for, can you receive it? Can you receive your own attention? Can you receive your own love? This is how we access our hearts. This is the process of cultivating self-love, by cherishing ourselves enough to show up, to be present to the full gamut of our experience, to show up for our humanness, our flaws and our triumphs. Honoring the space of your own heart, honoring anything that is coming through or coming forward to reveal itself, to show itself. Draw your hands into prayer in front of your heart, honoring this time you offer yourself, honoring your willingness to show up, and gently bowing your head to your heart and to your body, to your mind, to this resource you hold. to the access we grant ourselves when we take this pause. Namaste. I hope you have a beautiful day and happy solstice, and I will see you soon.